another hiatus from that I have entitled A Mother's Fill in the Blank. But Matthew 5, hearing, says in verse 21, then Jesus went out from there and departed to have mercy on me, O Lord. My daughter is severely demon out after us. But he to the lost and Lord dogs. And she said, yes. Then Jesus answered her and said to her, "O woman, great is that very hour or that very how great is your was one who was one was to turn around and ask them what they saw, they would a one drop of all. And that is the true reality of grace. Not deserve it. As for our learning Mother's Day for the last 3 years. The importance of a mother in the home. No. And then the year 2. And quality in women in the Bible. Counter. And now we are approaching a sermon, a mother's outcry. They don't always see the stress and the trials and the heartaches that a mother to her child. All parents in general, but in light of the commemoration that we render on mothers today, I thought mothers on today of their children. I don't know of any in perilous times. Our children are faced and they are in the middle of high. Violence, murder is at an all-time your future. The battle is not for their education and careers. The battle is not for their her life was her little child who was possessed by top priority is reality check. We need a reality check. This pandemic that we experience amongst our children, state, show up to even despise the parents that raise and love them, and some will take it is in light there any hope? Experience hope in light of the disaster that we see. Care. And if he understands, if he cares, is he truly decreed? This is number 21 through 28. We will also see her persistence. And in verse we see, the Bible says, then Jesus went out from there. Canaan. The land of Canaan. He sent out two spies, early Joshua, and ever since then, we're not supposed to approach men in the polls. And to add to that, she was a Canaanite. Dogs in the eyes. And declare some. Nonetheless, that any of us, the Bible goes on to say that this woman out to him saying, have mercy on. He realizes that she was in need of the same mercy. The Canaanite, mercy on her. She curious. According to law, you hear she is saying, Jesus Christ, you worship multiple gods. Of them. And here she's came to Jesus Lord, and she goes. And here is this Canaanite woman saying, Lord, she had already tried. All none of them worked. He was raising the dead. He was casting out demons. This was possibly her final in verse number 22, the latter part. My daughter is severely demon. Nonprofit organizations and let me just campus and opens fire. You best believe full display. And as a matter of fact, for casting out what a heart desire, and that was to see urge him, saying, send her away, for she cries out after us. To the lost sheep of Israel. And pleading him, declaration meant she appealed to God's. What is happening here? Verse 24. A mission. Ultimately, it wasn't that the Gentiles were not later revealed, understanding according to the Old Testament, but that's a whole nother story for another day. But nevertheless, Jesus declares to her, verse 25, she worshiped him. In the Greek, that literally and declared some of the most profound words. Lord, help me, and throw it to the little dogs. In these days, you had the wild dog. That was the one out there in the wilderness. That was the one nobody wanted to be a part of. That was the one that of this woman's faith said, and the Bible says, and she said, yes, Lord. Yes. Persistence, people of God, that captures the heart and the attention of God. Until this is her final hope. She's trying, so she cries out to Jesus in desperation. Dogs eat the crumbs which fall from the master's table. The Cosby Show. And I can't. I was a young kid when we first started watching it, but now Theo is grown up. At this point, he had never had a career job at an after-school program, possibly a nonprofit or organization. His only desire is to help these, and he starts finding out about their life. He found out a lot of these kids had needs that he had never had to. And he was at home, and his father, Cliff, came up to him and said, hey, what's wrong? And his father's listening. And now he has to go work to help pay the bill. Matter. So he's grieved. And his father listened. I extrapolated from that was this, what his father was trying. What resources that you have as a human being, as a parent. Yes, she's desperate, but she understands that she still solve the problem. And Theo said to his father, what is my point? My point is we're going to be limited. In this career, this is not a cry. And we must know. And she says in verse 27, yes, Lord, 5 through 10 really quick. I want assistance. And how does God feel about it? Really quick. Luke of you shall have a friend, and he will answer not his friend needs. What is Jesus teaching there? He goes on to tell us. Verse number 9. And to him who knocks, it will be open. Just the heart of God. We think they should when they don't turn out to become the people. We lose hope. It is endurance and persistence. If the Canaanite woman would have gave up, verse number 28. Let's keep reading. The Bible, he personalized, which he often rebuked his disciples for, of little faith when he was walking on the water and he expressed this type of faith. But this is a Canaanite woman who's expressing his covenant people, by the way. He says, let it be. He answers her prayer. He answers her in a lot of things when it comes down to our children. Trust it even in our ability. Could answer this prayer, her desire, Jesus, and that is bring salvation. Your spiritual minds to wonder. Best to rest assured that her praise, her child. We look to therapists, we look to counselors, and ain't nothing wrong with that in and of itself. Which at times they do. It's offering you a solution. Down to your children. I pray this story of this Canaanite woman offer Christ as her child. Full display. And it's happening at a rapid pace. And if we'll be honest, sometimes we buy into the lie. We've cried out to the Lord, but that is a lie from the pits of hell. Prodigal child. It really don't matter how far you will go in the final analysis. Do you believe it? If not, for your grace, I know the God who does. That there Lord, in our greatest hour, in our greatest need, will you hear us like you heard? The response to her